Hello, everyone, and welcome to Molehill Mountain, episode 238. I am Andrew Eisen. I just finished watching Army of the Dead, and I have a headache. Now, those last two things are not necessarily related, but I do have a headache. It aches. So, Army of the Dead, it's got zombies in it. I like zombies. Zombies are fun. Never really been a fan of running zombies. I don't hate them. I don't. But I mean, if you had to say, Andrew, pick one, fast or slow zombies? Slow, please. But they are related, says Matthew. Um, the movie Army of the Dead just came out, so I'm going to endeavor not to spoil anything. Um, but I will give you a quick review. There are zombies. I like zombies. This movie has both fast and slow zombies, so hey, I mean, if you like one and not the other, at least one of your favorites is in there. Um, there's gore. I like gore. There's some really nice chunky gore in places, so that was appreciated. Um, Many of the characters are very quirky in a fun way, so that's fun in a quirky way. And that's it. The movie has no. I kid you not. There are some really wonderful ideas and concepts in this film. The execution, not great. No, no, it's bad. It's a bad movie. I just want to roll up a newspaper and pop it in the nose. Bad movie. Bad movie. It does not hold up from a narrative or structural or plot standpoint at all. Um, there are characters that teleport from one location to another. There is a lot of the movie that is out of focus. It's deliberate. I mean, it's not like, oh crap, we accidentally shot this scene out of focus. No, it's a deliberate style choice, and I don't like it. I think there are better ways to. You know how Batman oftentimes will stick to the shadows, or like maybe a better example, yes, better example would be like Jason Voorhees or some masked killer in a slasher movie, always keeping to the shadows, in the background, behind a tree, peeking out from behind a house or over a hedge. Um, you never quite see them. That's why Michael Myers is often called the Shape, because it's just the shape of a man, and you never really get a good look at him. How do you do that? Well, as I just relayed, you keep him in shadows or keep him obscured by a clothesline of hanging laundry or traffic driving by, or they're way in the background. Or if you're Army of the Dead and you want to hide your cool zombies for dramatic purposes, you could just shoot it out of focus. You could do that. That's a choice you could make. It's not one I agree with at all, but it is a creative choice a creative could make creatively. Um, there's a character, I mentioned characters teleporting. The geography of the film is very confusing. A lot of times between scenes, you'll have no idea where someone is in relation to anyone else, and you don't know if they're reacting to something that happened in a previous scene. There are two big, muscular, shirtless zombies, and they look exactly the same. And I had trouble telling them apart. There's one zombie that gets shot in the head and its head explodes, and I shit you not, I thought it was a robot. Nope, just really stylish gore. I think that was just a weird lighting that made its skull look kind of metallic blue tinged. Zombie gets shot in the face, its face blows off. I'm like, is did we? Is the secret of the zombies they're robots? What the hell? No, it's just a little weird looking. There's a character. How do I want to say this? Our heroes go into the land of the zombies to rescue a person who went into the land of the zombies and never came out of the land of the zombies. So, during the course of the film, they find the person who went into the land of the zombies, and they went into the land of the zombies after this person who went into the land of the zombies to rescue them from the zombies in the land of them. So, end of the movie, they find the person they went to get. They're running away. If you watch this movie, keep an eye on this person that they went in there to rescue. Just keep an eye on him. See what happens to him. This person might have a career in magic. You know, maybe David Copperfield or someone was a consultant on this and made them disappear completely from the movie. It's like, oh, I thought this was an important character. They're, did they fall out of the car and you just forgot to shoot that? But I'm being hard on the film because it's bad, but that's not to say that there aren't enjoyable elements of the gory zombie movie. Namely the zombies and the gore. And some quirky, fun characters. I wish the movie wasn't 2.5 hours long. I think 90 minutes would have been fine, but I'm old now, so maybe I just have no patience anymore. I don't know, but it appears to me that so the idea is we're going to go into the land of the zombies, and then we're going to steal a helicopter and fly out. I think during the course of shooting the movie, they said, and that's a wrap. Did we forget to shoot the helicopter pilot stuff? Script supervisor, where were you? We forgot to shoot a helicopter pilot. Oh, crap. That's my headcanon for what happened, because the actor who plays the helicopter pilot in this movie appears to have been inserted in post because she, for the most part, does not share the screen with anyone else in the movie. Have you ever seen the American version of Godzilla, the original one from the 50s? And you have these Japanese people, because it's a movie that was shot in Japan with people who live there. You have a bunch of Japanese guys poring over, maps and stuff on a table. And, oh, Godzilla's over here, and we have to be here so we can shoot Godzilla in the face before he steps on the people here. And then it cuts to Raymond Burr standing off in the corner by himself, going, "Yeah, yes, I see." What are you even doing here? This actor appears to have been shot in post because she's by herself, or any of the scenes that she's actually with the group, she's clearly screened in. Or comped in. She was shot separately and added in post. And did you forget to shoot that character? Did the original actor, it just occurred to me that I may be being a horrible, horrible, insensitive prick right now because maybe like there was an original actor and she died like during filming and they had to replace her with another actor. Oh, I hope that's not the case. I'm gonna feel really bad if that's the case. Oh, I'm very sorry, movie. You did if that's the case, you did a bang up job replacing the untimely past original actor. I'm sorry for being a dick about it. Um, there's still some great ideas in the movie. The idea of zombie hibernation is an interesting idea, and the sequence where that comes into play is pretty well executed, mostly, except for the end, which makes absolutely no sense. You will find yourself screaming at the screen, shoot the zombies. Just shoot the zombies. That character's gonna die if you don't, shoot the zombies. You've got a gun. We've seen you shoot zombies. We know you got bullets because you fire them later. You're gonna oh, whoa, that character's dead now. Probably should have shot the zombies. There are a lot of points in this movie where the characters seem to have no sense of urgency, even though there are, zombies around, and the place is going to be nuked in like 5 minutes. They just kind of stare at each other meaningfully. I'm meaningfully staring at you. I'm meaningfully staring at you. It's meaningful to me that you're meaningfully staring at me while I meaningfully stare at you. Would you get in the goddamn chopper and leave? You're gonna blow up! Stop standing there! And the zombies are trying to bite you in the butt! Move! Have some sense of urgency! Oh no! We're trapped in this room behind a metal grate that has one latch about, an inch wide. Thank God we've got this giant saw, because we could use this to cut a gigantic hole through the concrete wall. I mean, you could do that. That's a choice you could make. I mean, you could have spent maybe 40 seconds sawing through the metal lock on the gate. But no, I mean, you could cut through the entire concrete wall. That's fine. Just make a little hole there. Oh, you're making like a, 8-foot tall and 4-foot wide doorway. Okay, 6-foot tall and 4-foot wide doorway. Okay. Hey, you guys broke into the land of the zombies to steal money. How come most of you aren't, like, carrying bags of money with you? That would seem important. Regarding, Matthew says just use Google Food to check. Is there a person that acts like the zombies aren't a big deal? Bad COVID joke? Sean Spicer has a short cameo in the movie. I hope that's an effect, and that you didn't actually pay a dogshit human being like Sean Spicer money, because you shouldn't ever do that. You should not willfully allow shitty people to profit off of their shittiness. So I hope that was an effect. Needless inclusion. Granted, Spicer is portrayed as the piece of shit that he is. But still, if that's not an effect, he doesn't care. It's like, oh, well, yeah, but we made him look awful. Yeah, he and his ilk don't care. They just care about, personal capital and power. So stop fucking facilitating them that. Army of the Dead and other media. Oh, now I'm down. Now my head hurts more. You know how quickly you turn into a zombie after you get bit? Neither does this movie. On the soundtrack is a delightful little ditty from a band called The Cranberries called Zombie. It's a cool song. Even if you don't know what the hell Susan Cranberry is singing about, either because you've never listened to the lyrics or you don't have the context of what she's singing about, or you're not getting through her accent and you literally can't tell what word she's singing other than zombie. You know, one could argue, and I imagine Zack Snyder or whoever made the decision to add this song into the soundtrack would probably argue that it's thematically appropriate inclusion because of, this and this and this. One could argue that, and one probably would. I suspect it's used because it's a kick-ass song and it has the word zombie in it, though. And that's fine. I not my position to judge whether it would be disrespectful to the intent of the original. After all, they had to pay to use it, so someone cashed the check. Hopefully the original creator has control over it and could say yes or no. So if that's the case, then they said yes, then it's all good. There's a zombie kitty. That's pretty cool. Hey, you remember in Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead? Another movie I don't like, but everyone else seems to, so maybe everyone's going to like. I actually have not read any reviews for this movie, so maybe it's going to be like the original Dawn of the Dead 2004, where everyone's like, oh my god, it's so good! And I watched it and went, no, it's not. At all. I mean, there's some fun gore, and there's zombies in it, and there's less than this movie, but some delightfully quirky characters. But no, it's not good at all. But I'm in the minority on that one, so maybe I'm in the minority on this one. Anyway, hey, remember how there were zombie babies in the Dawn of the Dead? Remember how it's like, oh my gosh, where's this gonna go? Remember where it went? Nowhere. Well, we've got another crack at it. So we've got zombie babies in this movie too. So where do they go with it this time? Nowhere. Nowhere. It's just kind of it's a thing, just like Zombie Kitty. Zombie Kitty's just a thing. So, like I said, there's a lot of really cool concepts, but the execution is bad. It's bad. It's bad. Not unenjoyable, no, but it's bad. I'm very interested now to actually read some reviews and to see if anyone agrees with me. It's okay if you don't agree with me. I don't need everyone else to agree with me. Again, just my opinion. So if you saw the movie and you thought it was super badass, I'm glad you got more out of it than I did. I liked the zombie kitty, and I liked some of the ideas. I just felt the execution was not executed very well. Hi, Cloaker. We're talking about Army of the Dead. I'm trying to be spoiler free because like the movie just came out, but I, I guess I haven't. Did I spoil anything? I mean, Zombie Kitty. Well, okay, Zombie Baby. I guess that's a spoiler. Um, so there is fun to be had. Not the ringiest of endorsements, but you know, I mean, if you've got 2.5, 3 hours, and you like zombies and gore, this movie is 2.5 hours long, and it has zombies and gore in it. So, Godzilla. Godzilla's been in like 30 movies over the past half century. Most of Godzilla's movies are not good, but a lot of people like Godzilla's movies because they have Godzilla in it, and that's perfectly fair. And so it goes with Army of the Dead. Is it good? I don't think so, no. But it does have zombies in it, so depending on the viewer, might be worth your time. So let's move off Army of the Dead because I've been talking about it for 20 minutes. I was actually like looking at my desk and going, where's my water? It's right here. So last week someone mentioned the show Horimiya. Horimiya to me. I'm sorry, I don't pronounce Japanese words very well because I don't speak the language. It is a show about school kids, because most of them are. I'm 41 years old. I didn't care about school kids when I was a school kid. I really don't care about them now. So if you want to sell me on a show, you know, okay, there's this cartoon. Okay, all right, you got me so far. I like cartoons. And it's about characters. Most of them tend to be, okay, no deal breakers yet. They're not high school kids. Are they grade school kids? No, they're adults. Yes! You know, it's one of the reasons why I like the cartoon, The Real Ghostbusters. Well, first of all, it's Ghostbusters, and Ghostbusters is awesome. Even when Ghostbusters is bad. But one of the things I love about The Real Ghostbusters is the protagonists of the show are adults, not kids. In fact, when they introduced the junior Ghostbusters later in the series, I hated them. Not adult Andrew. Child Andrew did not like the junior Ghostbusters. Child Andrew thought the junior Ghostbusters could go away. Because children's don't want to be children's. Children's want to be adults. Children's want to play with their older siblings' toys. Children's want to do adult stuff like makeup and beer and driving and sex, whatever that is. And yet, so much of entertainment aimed at children stars children. It's always seemed weird to me. I mean, kids watch it because kids have no taste and they'll watch anything. But I don't know. I think you might do better by having content aimed at children starring people who are not children. Anyway, as a middle-aged person now, I'd prefer more anime about people who are not school kids. Anyway, Horimiya. It's a portmanteau of the two characters, Hori Kyoko, I think is her name, and Miyamura, something. Izumi, I don't, whatever his name is. Doesn't matter. So it's School Kids, and it's a relationship drama between the two. And it's cute, and it's sweet, and it's intermittently funny. And I watched 2 episodes, and I appreciate the recommendation. It reminded me a bit of His and Her Circumstances, Karikano, which I was talking about last week for some reason. I think we were talking about manga to anime adaptations. And there are some similarities between the two. Um, so, yeah, the characters are fine. The show's well animated. It's cute. It's charming. The first 2 episodes, I would say it has not figured out its tone yet, because it seems to be ping-ponging back and forth between a more realistic and mellow character relationship drama and something that's a little bit more wacky comedy. And it's not blending those two together very well. First 2 episodes might even out further down the series, but anyway, so whoever recommended that to me last week, I watched a couple episodes, and not gonna watch any more, but interesting show. I'm glad I took a look at it. So I was thinking, Gem and the Holograms is very cool. One of my favorite shows. Shame I didn't see it back when I was a children. Not sure how I would have reacted. I imagine I would have liked it because it's good and it's got music. But that made me think, because I'm watching Zombieland Saga right now, and I'm enjoying that show much more than I thought I would, especially the first few episodes. I just finished Carol on Tuesday, and I was thinking, you know what, I could do a video about my favorite, like, top 5 or something, my 5 favorite musical TV shows. And then I thought, it's pretty much just Gem and the Holograms, and then a less enthusiastic recommendation for like Zombieland Saga and Carol and Tuesday. I mean, I think a lot of us would be hard pressed to name 5 musical TV shows. I guess there's High School Musical, but I saw High School Musical 2, and it was okay. I sat through it without getting antsy. It's all right. Had no desire to watch anymore. But I mean, there's just not really enough of them for me to. I mean, make a list of top 5, and you're naming like the 5. Because other than Zombieland Saga, Gem the Holograms, Carol and Tuesday, what else do we have? We have Your Lie in April. I think that's what it's called. It's a pianist and the violinist, right? I think that's what it's called. K-Own or something. The one with the school kids who form a band. There's a Symphonium or something like that, which is about kids in a school band, but it's more the big band class band. Um, 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 Bubblegum Crisis, kind of. I mean, although music really isn't the focus. That's. I mean, one of the characters is in a band, but music really isn't the focus of the show. Kind of like Cowboy Bebop is known for its music, but none of the characters in the show are musicians. It's not about music. There's just lots of good music. So probably not a video I'm going to do because I just don't have enough to talk about. Cloaker says, why is most anime, even ones targeted to adults, have school children as protagonists? Metalocalypse. I've heard of that. I have not seen that. Uh, aren't they aren't they making a movie off of that one, or am I thinking of a different property? Lindy says, just say it. There's no show like Gem. There is no show. Gem is really one of a kind, at least so far as I know. Um, Never saw Josie and the Pussycats. What was the one with the shark that plays drums? That's an old, Jesus, is that Hanna-Barbera or something? I'm not even sure what that is. Um, I don't know if that's a show about a band or if that's like a background gag or what. There's shoot, I had one. Didn't Archie have a band? Was that its own spin-off, or did he just have a band at some point? I don't know. I don't think I have ever read. No, that's not true. When I did 30 days of comics, I made sure to read one Archie comic because I'd never read anything from Archie, and that's been around for decades. And I read, I think, like Archie of the Dead or Archie's Long Ass Halloween or something, and it was okay. It probably would have worked a lot better if I was familiar with really any of the characters and their relationships with each other, but I wasn't. So, um, Lindy says Gem is one of a kind and it's the best. Yeah, it is genuinely something special. It's a shame that it didn't spawn a bunch of imitators. Because I'm actually genuinely kind of sad that I can't. It's like, oh, what are the top five musical shows or musical cartoon shows? And it's like I could like maybe name five at best. This should, and I guess it's understandable because that's really hard to do. Not only do you have to make a show and script it and voice it and animate it and all of that jazz, but now you got to make music for every episode. On top of the soundtrack, dude, that's asking a lot. But Gem the Holograms knocked it out of the park, so 'tis possible. Carol and Tuesday is a little uneven, but it's it sticks the landing, so it's pretty good. Um, Zombieland Saga it continues to impress me, even though it isn't really. It's hard to criticize it for not having a story because the show knows that and has stated outright it doesn't really care. It's just like, no, zombie idols are funny. And it's like, they are. Are you going to do anything more with this concept? No, they're just going to sing and be wacky. And it's like, it seems like a missed opportunity, but okay. I mean, as long as the songs are good and the wackiness is funny, it is, for the most part. And, for the most part, I'm actually quite enjoying Zombieland Saga. But, Gem and the Holograms had great music, was genuinely funny, but there was also an actual story and characters and relationship and overarching narrative and action and suspense and stakes, which makes it even better. I mean, eh. So, more musical TV shows, please. More good ones. Or just make more Gem. I mean, we're bringing back a lot of properties. Voltron came back, and She-Ra came back. He-Man's coming back like in 3 different damn series. I think we've got like 2 separate series and a movie, something like that. Uh, so yeah, bring back Gem because at least one person, and Lindy says yes, make more Gem. That's 2. And I bet all the people who organize and attend GemCon would agree that they want more Gem. So, Lindy says, Hasbro, pay me. um, Matthew says, Zombieland Saga is a parody of idol shows. I don't know anything about idol shows, or I don't watch idol shows. I mean, if you mean anime about idols, I haven't seen enough of them to really get any of the jokes, but it's still working for me because the music is varied and solid, and a lot of the. Here's an example. Remember last week I was talking about Zombieland Saga and how the protagonist of the show steps out of off her front porch and immediately gets pancaked by a truck. So in the latest episode, there's a long shot of the house and all the zombie girls are going to work because they've got bills to pay. Undead is not going to keep you from paying your bills. And you have two of them go across the street this way, and one of them goes down one side of the sidewalk, and one goes the other sidewalk. And then you have our main character who got pasted by the truck. She runs, she pokes her head out real slow and looks both ways, and they don't call attention to that. It's a long shot of the whole house, and you could possibly miss that. And they've got a lot of really subtle but genuinely really funny character gags like that. There's this press person who's following one of the zombie girls around. There's something weird about this zombie girl, other than being a zombie, I guess. And so he's like spying on her at a supermarket. And so he's like, hiding behind an aisle and looking around the thing at her, going, "What is she doing? There's something suspicious about this girl." And if you look over his shoulder, there's this other shopper going, "The hell is with this guy staring at this girl?" Again, something that's just in the background, but my funny bone, it was tickled. Let's see. What are we talking about? Matthew says nostalgia. For whatever reason, Japanese, like high school, have strong memories of it. Oh, Japanese culturally have strong memories and associations with high schools, hence the uh, glut of high school kid stories. That may be. I have no nostalgia for school. I've never wanted to go. I never understood teachers because I was like, wait, you mean you're going to spend the first part of the first, the 15 years of your life or whatever, not counting the first couple that you weren't in school, but, a 15-year span of the first chunk of your life in school just to go back to it? You crazy. Um, Afterlife with Archie. That's right, Cloaker. Thank you. Didn't I? I think I did that entire review standing on an endo board. Do I have the right one? Is that the one I did that? Um, I'm gonna watch my own YouTube videos right now. Do do do. Yes, yes, it is. All right, let me share that in the chat. So this video was my day 30 of 30 Days of Comics, where I reviewed Afterlife with Archie, and I reviewed the whole thing standing on a endo board. So if you want to watch it and see if I fall off and break my neck, well, I didn't die, I'll put that, but you know, it's suspenseful. Is he going to fall? Is he going to do the whole thing without losing his balance? Woo! Cafe says, I love the music in Carol and Tuesday. Yeah, one of the things the show does very well is it brings in a bunch of other artists in Carol and Tuesday's circle. They enter a bunch of different shows and competitions and stuff, so you actually get to see a bunch of other acts, and that's how you get the variety of music in the show. And that was a very good choice, because Carol and Tuesday have their own. Carol and Tuesday, that group, that duet, they have their own style and sound, which could, over 24 episodes, probably get a bit samey. There's some of their songs are pretty similar. I mean, they're new, give them a break. But yeah. So more music shows, please. Andrew demands it. Where's my podcast list here? Okay, so now let's talk about hot tub streamers. Why? Because I am told that hot tub streamers are a thing. This week, Twitch went out of its way to write a very long blog post explaining that, okay, since hot tub streaming is a thing, we're going to make a category for hot tub streamers. So we've got a category of beach, hot tubs, and pools. So if you're on the beach or in a hot tub or in a pool and you're streaming from that location, this is the category for you. Okay. So my question is, are hot tub streamers like outside? Like most people, if they have a hot tub, I would imagine it's outside of the house. I'm sure some people have a hot tub in their house. Or are they sitting in their living room in like a wading pool? If they're outside, are they like running extension cords to drag all their camera equipment and their computers and the router outside and trying not to drop it in the hot tub? Are they actually playing games in the hot tub? Because I would be super damn nervous to drop my... Video game controllers are like $60 a pop. I would be very nervous that I would splash water on it or drop it in the tub. Are these hot tub streamers streaming for like multiple... Because, I stream myself from a chair, but I stream from this chair for like 3 to 4, sometimes. I think last week's stream was nearly 5 hours as we finished out Trails in the Sky. If I were in a hot tub, I would be very pruny. Are hot tub streamers streaming like every day? Cause I hope you're changing out that water, cause that's gonna get kind of gross after a while. So I don't know anything about hot tub streaming. I do know that there are those who don't approve of hot tub streamers. Why? People streaming from their hot tub? I never. Because I don't have a hot tub and I'm very, very jealous. And I don't have the body confidence to get on camera in a swimsuit. So I don't like hot tub streamers. Harumph! And if I don't like a particular genre of streaming on an entire website, it should be removed! I don't give the slightest poop about Fortnite. Not a bit. Not a single scintilla of poop. Not one modicum of poop do I give about Fortnite. Not an iota of feces do I give about the video game Fortnite. And yet, Fortnite, very popular video game, a lot of people stream it. And you know what I say to streamers who stream Fortnite, a game I'm not interested in watching other people stream because I don't like it? I'm gonna watch something else on Twitch. I mean, if every single channel was forced to stream Fortnite and nothing else, I might have a problem with that, because I don't want to watch Fortnite. But, I mean, if I don't want to watch Fortnite, I could just not watch Fortnite. I mean, I could watch me, because I don't play Fortnite. I was playing Trails in the Sky for half a year. Well, okay, like 4 months my computer was dead, but still. So, not interested in watching people stream from a jacuzzi or hot tub? That's cool. Watch something else. You don't even have to go to a different website. You can stay on Twitch and watch something else. Anything else. In fact, hot tub streaming, so far as I can tell, is not in the majority of streams. It's not like, oh, God, every other stream is a hot tub streamer. Nope. Nope, you'd have to go looking for them. Now, I took a look today on the front page. You know how many hot tub streamers I saw? 0. You know how many Fortnite streams I saw? 3! This was after a bit of refreshing. Yeah, I just, hammered F5 a little bit just to see what would cycle through. I didn't see anyone in a hot tub. And winter's ending. I mean, we're getting into the... How did hot tub... Is this a different side of the world that's hot tub streaming? Anyway, I don't have a hot tub. So I can't hot tub stream for you. Sorry. Also, I don't want I guess I could stream from my tub. I have a tub. It's kind of small though. I mean, I'd be like, be really uncomfortable, and the acoustics would probably sound really weird. And I don't want to drag all my shit into my bathroom. So not hot tub streaming for you. Sorry. I mean, I guess I could buy like a little wading pool and move the couch and plonk it right here in the middle of the living room. But I don't want to ruin the carpet because I rent this apartment, and my landlord would probably be pissed if I sloshed water all over the place. So, so, yeah, hot tub streaming. It's a thing that exists, and if you want to watch it, you can. And if you don't have to. You could watch something else. Hi, chat. Cafe says, I remember hearing that the original concept for the band Gorillaz was supposed to be either a movie or TV show. Lindy says, Twitch won't make a category for art. I once saw, it definitely should. I once saw, interestingly, according to the press release from Twitch that I read yesterday or whenever it was, they have, I don't know if it's a specific category, but there's body art, like using the human body as a canvas, painting on the person. That's a thing that you can do on Twitch. I don't know if it has its own specific category, but yeah, it definitely should have a category. Because I would like to watch, I like watching creators create. For example, I did see on Twitch at some point a video game person who was a composer, I think for WayForward or someone. I think it was a special thing that WayForward was doing for a Shantae Kickstarter thing. It's like, hey, our composer is going to compose music for Shantae live on Twitch. Come watch. And I watched, and it was really cool watching someone compose music. Not everyone's going to enjoy doing that, but it would be neat to... similarly, it would be really neat to watch people do their art, draw or macrame or whatever. There are things we humans can do to entertain ourselves beyond video games. I know, but it's true. Cafe says, are they pretending to be in a hot tub with a green screen? I don't know. I don't know. I've actually never seen a hot tub stream, so from the press release, apparently the hot tub streamers were relegated to a just chatting category, and so Twitch decided, okay, we need to draw a line between just chatting and just chatting in a hot tub. So my assumption would be that they're not actually playing video games, they're just essentially doing a podcast like I am, just chatting with their fans, only sitting in shallow water. So, I don't know. Matthew says, outside Ethernet cords and waterproof cameras exist, True. Yeah, that's true, but that seems like a pain in the ass to me. Maybe I'm just too lazy. Matthew says, yep, pretty much sexism, jealousy. Oh, people who are so angry, and let me get some pearls. Get some of my pearls here and hook them. Honey, can you hook my pearls? Okay, pearls on. Double clutch these pearls. Yeah, it's jealousy and sexism. Don't want to watch someone sitting in shallow water? Don't. It's not. They're not made. Now, if Twitch introduces a policy that says from now on you have to stream from a hot tub, I'd have a problem with that because I don't have a hot tub, and even if I did, I don't want to because I'm body shy. There are, I would imagine, because some people have very little taste, and being that some people have little taste, I bet there are people in this world who would look at my pasty ass and go, that's attractive. So I imagine I would have some audience for me sitting in a swimsuit in a hot tub on a stream, but I don't care because I'm body shy. I don't want to do it. But anyone else who's comfortable doing that, one up on me. Good on you. Matthew says that's all the opposition is. Yeah, it's Cafe says Jake Kaufman. I don't know who that is. So, is that a hot tub streamer? So, Jake, good on you for try not to short out your equipment and change out your water and don't sit in it for more than, let's say, 2 hours because you're going to prune. And as sexy as you are when you start out, you're not sexy all pruny. Yep, you got to close the stream before you turn into a prune. Because that's just not sexy. No one wants to see pruny streamers. We want hot tub streamers, not prune streamers. Oh, Jake is the way forward composer. You know what, Jake Kaufman? You should compose music while sitting in a hot tub and stream that on Twitch. We would watch that, Jake. Hot tub music composition stream. Make a channel for that, Twitch. Okay. Thank you, Cafe. I honestly did not know who that was. Let's see. Still, Twitch was verbose, but somewhat clear in its blog post. I imagine it does do that thing. If you have any questions about, like, what swimwear is appropriate, here's the link. I didn't follow the link, so I don't know how well their appropriateness of attire thing is written. I don't know if it's, like, gender discriminatory or sexist, or I didn't read that far. But what I would like to talk about is eBay. That's right, eBay. My sights are on you now. So eBay has decided, you know what? We don't want to sell porn on our site anymore. Okay? So that's fine. I mean, eBay is eBay's site. If eBay woke up one morning, and said, you know what? Back scratchers. We're not selling those anymore. No back scratchers on eBay. It's our site. We can sell or not sell whatever the heck we want. And we have decided, henceforth, we shall not sell back scratchers. But they didn't decide back scratchers. They decided porn. Apparently this has not gone into effect yet. I think this goes like June 15th or something like that. Did you know that you could sell sexually explicit material on eBay? I guess that... Okay. That was... Like hot tub streaming, apparently that was a thing. So I went through eBay's adult items policy, and it's pretty poorly written. But there was one bit that stood out to me as particularly funny, and I would like to discuss it with you all now. So, and it looked like eBay might have noticed it, because it looks like it hid the page, but I found a way to get to it. If you type in the actual URL for the page, it goes to this page doesn't exist. But if you actually search for the page, there's still a link to it, so you can get to it with the search ID numbers. Anyway, so it says sexually oriented materials, including items containing nudity and displays of sexual activities, are not allowed. This includes the following: sexually explicit anime, comics, books, animation, manga, hentai, and yaoi. And yeah, my pronunciation is crap. We have established this. Pardon me. It's that I need to sneeze, but it's just not happening. Ah, let me read that again. So, the sexually oriented materials that are not allowed include sexually explicit anime, comics, books, animation, manga, hentai, yaoi. These are all separated by a comma. So these are all, as written, individual things. Now, sexually explicit is an adjective that applies to all of the nouns separated by a comma. So this could be read as sexually explicit anime, sexually explicit comic books, sexually explicit comics, sexually explicit books, sexually, and so on and so forth. So let's go through these one by one and talk about why this is not written very well. So, no sexually explicit anime. Okay. What do you mean by anime? Do you mean animation from Japan, which is how most Westerners would be talking about when they use the word anime? Do you mean the stereotypical style that is most often associated with animated works that come from Japan? Like, there are a lot of American-produced shows that ape a particular anime style. Does that count as anime? Or do you mean anime as in the Japanese perspective as pretty much just anything that's animated? Seems kind of important. I mean, I hope this isn't a xenophobic thing where it's like, no sexually explicit anime. Oh, but sexually explicit cartoons that aren't anime is okay? Well, no, because it does mention animation. So, no sexually explicit anime or sexually explicit animation. Even though anime is animation. You could have just said sexually explicit animation. That covers all of it. That's once upon a time the FBI knocked on my door because someone thought I was scary looking and called the police. It happens. Not often to white dudes, but it can happen, and it happened to me once. So the FBI, after I ghosted them because someone called me and left a message saying, "Hey, this is the FBI, we need to talk to you." Yeah, sure. And then they came knocking on my door. So they asked me, "Do you have any guns in the house?" I said, "No." Then they asked me, "Do you have any shotguns in the house?" And it's at times like these where it's difficult being a snarky asshole because you want to be a snarky asshole and point out how stupid that question is. On the other hand, I'm sure these FBI dudes, much like whoever wrote this for eBay, probably thought, there are some dingbats in the world who would probably go, "Oh, but it's not a sexually explicit animation. It's anime." Much like there's probably some dipstick in the world who goes, "No, I don't have any guns. Shotguns, sure, but no guns." Even though, guns is in the name. And, the word anime is derived from the word animation. I honestly think this little writing issue could have been solved by just writing sexually explicit anime/animation. You know? That tells me you understand they're the same thing, that you're just covering your bases. Moving on. Sexually animated books? Okay. Comics. I take that to mean one is illustrated and one is not. So that's fine as a distinction. I too would draw a distinction between, say, Lady Chatterley's Lover and this would be better if I were more well-versed in porn. I mean, you can tell how lame I am using Lady Chatterleys. I mean, who the hell would ever reference that in 2021? Um, a naughty comic book. I can't think of any. Sorry. But I would I too would draw the distinction. However, this list also says, in addition to sexually explicit comics, sexually explicit manga. Again, if you had written comics slash manga slash graphic novels, that tells me you understand they're the same thing. You're just, covering your bases for anyone who might be pedantic about it. This isn't comics. This is manga. It's the same thing. Manga are comics. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Moving on. Hentai. Oh? No sexually explicit hentai, you say? Hentai, by definition, is sexually explicit. It's like saying no sexually explicit porn. See, this is the part where it's just getting stupid and I think you don't know what you're talking about. No sexually explicit hentai. Oh, as opposed to the non-sexually explicit hentai. Now, up to this point, I could chalk up the writer of this policy page on eBay as someone who's overworked and underpaid and did not have a lot of time here. I'm trying to be charitable. But this last one, yaoi, Y-A-O-I. I know I don't pronounce it very well. Doing all the vowels in a row is very difficult for me. What is yaoi, yaoi or yaoi? It's a narrative that focuses on the relationship, sexual or otherwise, but often sexual, between two men. So, this list says no sexually explicit anime, no sexually explicit comics, no sexually explicit books, no sexually explicit animation, no sexually explicit manga, no sexually explicit hentai, and no sexually explicit boy love. Interesting that you're singling that out specifically, eBay. I mean, you've already said no sexually explicit cartoons, comics, books, porn. That's right, no sexually explicit porn. So in addition to no sexually explicit cartoons, books, comics, or porn, no sexually explicit male gay stuff. You might be wondering, is Yuri in the list? That would be the girl love genre. Nope, that's not on there. Just the dude stuff. Why is that, eBay? Is it because you think guys doing it is icky, but girls doing it is hot? Is that it, eBay? eBay, now up until this point I was poking fun at you because this is not very well written and it makes it look like you don't know what the hell you're talking about, but this last inclusion makes me think you're homophobic. I hope that's not the case. Well, regardless, kind of interesting. Anime, comics, books, animation, manga, they are mediums. Hentai and yaoi are genres, which you don't need to include on a list that is banning particular types of mediums. So if you're saying no sexually explicit cartoons, that would include every genre of cartoon. If you say no sexually explicit comic books, that would, by definition, include all of the sexually explicit yaoi titles. It would also include all the sexually explicit yuri titles, which, again, I point out, you didn't add there. Hmm. So, maybe that's why the direct link to this policy page no longer works, eBay. Now, again, I want to stress that it is perfectly okay for eBay to decide that it no longer wants to sell sexually explicit material on its website. Nothing wrong with that. That's fine. You know, I'm not selling sexually explicit material either. 'Tis my choice. I can sell whatever the hell I want and not sell whatever the hell I want. And I'm choosing not to sell sexually explicit material. So that's perfectly fine. But, you might want to watch how you word things, eBay, because one might assume that you are both stupid and homophobic. Like I do. Now, I'm sure eBay would push back and say we are neither stupid nor homophobic, and I'm glad to hear that. Now, show me through actions that you're not stupid and homophobic, eBay. I'm sure you can talk the talk. But can you walk the walk? So, lastly, hello, David Gonzalez, how are you? And Joey Jojo Jr. Shabadoo, hello. Lastly, I subscribe to a streaming service called Shudder. It is a streaming service for horror flicks. I like horror, which is why I subscribe to a service specifically dedicated to that genre. On this service is Creepshow, which is now in its second season. Creepshow is based on, Tales from the Crypt, comic series of horror comics. And like many adaptations of such works, it is an anthology series. Each episode in the currently airing show has usually 2 stories per episode. So each episode's like 45 minutes long, so you have about a 20-minute horror short, 2 of them. The movie, which was in the 80s sometime, it, I think, had 3 or 4 stories in it and a wraparound story. Interestingly, the 2 Tales from the Crypt movies were 1 story each. Demon Knight was great. Bordello of Blood was not. Tales from the Dark Side, another anthology horror movie, pretty good. But I'm not here to talk about those. I'm here to talk about Creepshow, which has been generally pretty mediocre. Sadly, the nice thing about horror anthologies is, even if not all of them are great, there's usually at least one standout. The Creepshow for me is kind of struggling. Like, it's not entertaining, but most of the episodes, and I come away from going, that's just not very good. Let me pull up the, pardon me, show page and get some of the episode titles so I can remember what the hell I'm talking about. Oh, hey, Psycho Gorman is released. I want to watch that. That looks fun. But we'll talk about that later. So, yeah, so the first episode was a kid who has an abusive stepdad, and he orders something from the Creepshow magazine to kill him. It's fine. That's a pretty standard story, and they don't do anything new or interesting with it, so it's like kind of meh. Public Television of the Dead was fun, but kind of weird. Basically, it's not Sam. Ted Raimi brings the Necronomicon to a antique roadshow program on a public access station and turns everyone into Deadites. And so Bob Ross has to fight the Deadites. Does that sound funny? It is. It's pretty fun. Uh, there's there's one where a plumber has to come replace the pipes, and there's a monster in the pipes. And the landlord's an asshole, so they, instead of getting rid of the monster, they feed the landlord to the monster. It's okay. There's Barbara Crampton in it. Always nice to see her. Um, but episode 3 had a sci-fi episode, and it was really good. It's about two dudes up in a spaceship who make testing out like a gravity drive of their new ship or something, and they make first contact with aliens. This show suffers from a really low budget. I think they might have blown the entire budget on the opening sequence, which is actually really cool. Because all these episodes appear to just have no budget. And this is no different. But they tend to put the money where it counts. And this particular episode is, to me anyway, your mileage may vary, but this is by far the best one. It has the most interesting setup, the most interesting premise, and the best twist. I mean, this is classic, Tales from the Crypt. Bad guy gets their comeuppance in a deliciously ironic way. It's genuinely wonderful. Interestingly, the companion episode in this third episode of season 2 of Creepshow is actually pretty damn good too. It's about a girl who, a school kid, can't have enough of those, who goes to the high school counselor, played by Molly Ringwald, who I haven't seen do anything in a long 20 years? I don't know. Nice to see you again, Molly Ringwald. So she goes to the counselor and says, "My brother's trying to kill me." And the counselor's like, "Oh my gosh, do tell me more." Unfortunately, this girl, the sibling, has a difficult time getting to the point. If you've ever heard, which you haven't, because I don't think any of you actually know my sister, but if you've ever heard her describe a dream she's had, it's like that. My sister remembers her dreams. All of them. And she's happy to tell you about them. The entire thing front to back. And it makes no damn sense. Because it's a dream. But she'll tell you the whole thing, and it's impressive that she remembers it, but it's kind of maddening because it makes no damn sense. This girl reminded me of that, because she's just like, "Alright, your brother's trying to kill you. Why is it? Okay, so yesterday I went to my friend's house, and then we TP'd this other girl who is really mean to me in the 6th hour chem class. So we TP'd her, and she's like, 'Would you please vote your brother?' She's like, 'I'm getting to that.' And so then I took a math test." What sells this episode is not just some really smart dialogue, but whoever the actor playing this sister, who's, my brother's trying to kill me. She is hilarious. Her delivery is amazing. Uh, in other performers' hands, this part probably would not have worked, but damn, she nails it. It's great. Um, and the plot actually, you can probably, if you're paying attention, you're probably going to guess where this is going, but it's still really thoughtfully plotted out. I feel it does not stick the landing, which, man, that's the important thing. You got to stick the landing, because if you screw up the landing, then everything prior doesn't matter. You watch a movie, you're enjoying the hell out of it, and then the last 30 seconds make you go, oh, that's stupid. And then you walk out of the theater going, with the last feeling being, oh, that's dumb. Isn't that right, Bride of Chucky? I was enjoying you right up to the last 30 seconds. That was dumb. Bad Bride of Chucky. Bad, bad Bride of Chucky. Anyway, all that to say, Creepshow is generally okay. But episode 3 of season 2, especially the first story in that collection, aced it. So, that's it for the podcast this evening. Ran over again, but I like yammering. And hopefully I'm changing the world and making it a better place, and maybe because of this podcast, eBay will be less homophobic. Wouldn't that be nice? So, thanks everyone for hanging out with me tonight. Join me tomorrow at noon Pacific Standard Time, as we will play, I'm not sure yet. It's not going to be Trails in the Sky second chapter. We will start that at some point, but not tomorrow. I need to actually figure out what I'm playing tomorrow, but it will be something. So I hope you'll look forward to that and join me tomorrow. Until then, have a lovely evening, everyone. Take care. Bye-bye.